Hidden deep within the jungles of Petan in northern Guatemala, where it was lost for almost 1,000 years, Tikal stands alone as one of the most beautiful ancient ruins in the world. Set within a tropical rainforest reserve filled with exotic animals and bird life, Tikal's environment is very much alive and thriving, even though the city rests silently ruined and its temples very much asleep. Positioned perfectly in the center of Mayan territories, with stretched from Yukon, Pennsylvania to El Salvador, Tikal is believed to have dominated the entire region throughout the Classic period from 200 AD to 800 AD. At its zenith, the city spanned 16 kilometers and is thought to have been the home of a population of around 90,000 people. As a city-state, Tikal's administrative district covered 120 kilometers and was home to as many as 425,000 people, a very large population for the time. Traveling to Tikal today is sufficiently difficult to save it from mass tourism, and there is no nearby resort that sends coachloads of holiday makers looking for a day out. The only people you find at Tikal have traveled long and hard to see it and tend to respect it for their fellow explorers. The name Tikal may be derived from Tikal in Yucca Maya language. It is said to be a relatively modern name, meaning at the waterhole. The name also apparently tied to one of the site's ancient reservoirs by hunters and travelers in the region. It has an alternative name, meaning the place of voices. It is the Itza Maya language. At any rate, Tikal is not the ancient name for the site, but rather the name adopted shortly after its discovery in the 1940s. Catch this, hieroglyphic inscriptions at the ruins refer to the ancient city as Yaks Mato, meaning first mother. And here's a picture of that hieroglyph. Tikal may have come to have been called this name because Dos Ilas also came to use the same emblem glyph. The rulers of the city presumably wanted to distinguish themselves as the first city to bear the name. One last thing about this hieroglyph. The kingdom as a whole was called Multul, which is the reading of the hair bundle. That's right, it means hair bundle. This emblem glyph seen here in the accompanying photo, its precise meaning remains obscure though, although some scholars think that it is the hair knot of the Achu or the ruler. Tikal is one of the few sites that provides the sensation of being an explorer, traipsing through the unkept jungle and stumbling across ruins that have long been lost and reclaimed by nature. This ancient city is located in South America and is called Tikal, Guatemala. Immersed in wildlife, Tikal provides both inspiring history and the spirit of adventure. Your senses and imagination will come alive if you ever visit this place. So how many pyramids are there in Tikal? Well, the answer is there are a lot. Although Temple 4 is the tallest in Tikal and the world, you never know what other pyramids there are because there's lots of structures buried underneath the ground. Tikal is perhaps the most well known for its iconic Temple 1, which is also called the Temple of the Jaguar, which epitomizes the style of Mayan style construction with its towering 10 round-edged, steep, sloping levels, topped with a stone temple and a roof. Pyramids are all shaped similarly, but pyramids constructed by different cultures each have their own particularities. The Mayan version of the pyramid is shorter than some others, and experts believe that this was to leave room for a temple on the top. The buildings were covered with carvings and statues to honor their gods as well as to commemorate kings. Pyramids, the Maya are perhaps the most known for their majestic pyramids, but they built two kinds of pyramids. Many times, new pyramids were built on top of old pyramids. Archaeologists have found several more pyramids inside and under existing pyramids. The other type of Mayan pyramid was not intended to be climbed or even touched. These were sacred pyramids and were never used for sacrifice. Although sometimes they were built with steps, these were just for ornaments. The pyramids were too steep to be climbed. Tikal was first rediscovered in the mid-19th century, then famously photographed Alfred P. Maudsley. He visited from 1881 to 1882. Again photographed and investigated by Thibaut Mahler in 1895 before archaeological investigation undertaken by pioneers in the 20th century. Most of the work on the site was undertaken in the 60s by a university in Pennsylvania. Here is Temple 1 today compared to what it looked like in 1881. You can see how well they've improved the site. Hope you enjoyed this presentation about the ancient city of Tikal, and maybe you will visit one day for yourself and find your own inspiration.